Holy shit. Guys, we just got an announcement that I think we were all kind of like waiting for, and that is the official announcement that yes, we are getting a sequel to Godzilla Minus One. It was announced today from Toho that they have greenlit the production, written and directed by Takeshi Yamazaki, the original writer and director of Godzilla Minus One. He's coming back. They haven't said it's a sequel, but I think we can all agree it is a sequel, right? Like we're all in agreement that like after the effect Minus One had last year to the world, yeah, it was a beautiful thing. It was an absolutely beautiful thing to watch. It felt justifying, right? Like to see Godzilla. You know, as a Godzilla fan who's toiled, for decades, is like, oh, you're a Godzilla fan, and now it feels justifying, right? That after all of that, so yeah, I'm gonna look real stupid if they say it's not a sequel, but I think they've said without saying it's a sequel. Now, all that we really got was that the production's been greenlit and Takeshi Yamazaki is coming back to write and direct. They did say more information is coming soon, so I would imagine that's probably going to be the big thing for November 3rd, Godzilla Day, to celebrate Godzilla's 70th anniversary. I gotta be honest, guys, there was no way Toho, after the events of what they got out of Minus One, releasing it in theaters, making a massive budget in the US, not to mention getting an Oscar, something the Godzilla franchise had never gotten in its life. It was no doubt in my mind that Toho was going to be like, hey, Takeshi, where do you think are you going out the door? No, come, get back here. So, yeah, that's really cool. That Toho, after everything, you knew Toho was going to do like a sequel, right? Or, another Godzilla movie post-haste. Like, that was the big thing. And it is really cool, and I've said this before, and I wish more Godzilla fans would do this more often. I really do wish, I honest to God wish, that, there would be, there wouldn't be so much vehement hate for some reason towards the MonsterVerse, when I'm like, no, guys, it's just more Godzilla. It's just, like, we had in the span, I want you to really think on that. In the span of, 2 months, we had two different Sorry about that. But anyway, like I was saying, the major thing, to have Takeshi Yamazaki back, and to have, Toho going forward with this, is, it just kind of shows that Toho's, new direction, is clearly, showing the fruits of its labor. I think we can all agree that, Toho of the past would have been like, oh yeah, would have been, it's cool that we got all this recognition and thank you for all that, but I think we're going to wait a few years until we do another project of this magnitude. Here, it's like, nah, we're not gonna wait 5 years after one film and then do a series of films. We're gonna hit the gas right now. I do imagine though that this movie will probably come out. Well, I say maybe 2027, but at the same time, Toho, and this is just Japanese filmmaking on a whole, is that the Japanese film industry is fast and efficient. I mean, hell, they basically revealed they were going to do Godzilla Minus One, and then they said, yeah, it's coming out next year. So for all we know, when we get the further announcements, which again, I do imagine will be November 3rd, I do imagine they'll probably say coming 2025. That's a possibility. It could come December or November November 2025 in Japan, December 2025 for America. That's that is very much in the realm of possibility for this film. I think the latest honestly would be 2026. That's what I think, is that's how fast the Japanese movie industry is most of the time, is that it at most it will probably be 2026, but I would not bet against the idea of it coming out 2025. I have no, I can totally see coming out November 2025, at least in Japan, at the bare minimum. So, I think that is a massive possibility that could happen. I think it might even happen that it comes out next year, as early as next year. So that is something you really have to like take into account with all this. Yeah, I'm so fucking excited. Like one would say even elated at the idea of a new Godzilla film. I will obviously get more information in a couple days, come Godzilla 2020, coming November 3rd, Godzilla Day, this big 70th anniversary for the G-Man. The thing you really have to take into account is what this movie's going to be about. Now, I'm going to play some speculation real fast, and I'll probably do more speculation when we get more information in the coming days. I'm going to say we are going to get... This movie's going to be a monster fight movie. This, Takeshi Yamazaki... Yamazaki has basically said multiple times that he would be curious to see how to do a human drama in the midst of a monster fight. So, I think it's possible that we get another monster in this movie. As to who? That's a hard one to say. I do think Toho would say brand recognition, but at the same time, it wouldn't hurt to have a new monster. It wouldn't hurt to have like a new monster, because God knows Bandai needs to sell 30, 40, 50 variations of the toy. Bandai Namco definitely needs, those Bandai movie monsters ain't making themselves. Anyway, I digress. So, but it could be like Toho going, instead of a new monster, it could be like brand recognition, because Toho's very big on that. And they haven't really made a new monster in the Toho movies. I'm not saying MonsterVerse. In the Toho movies specifically, those we haven't seen a new monster from Toho since Orga. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, what about Kaiser Ghidorah / Monster X? It was still Ghidorah, okay? It was still fucking good. It was a variation of Ghidorah. So yeah, I am always open to a new monster showing up, to a new kaiju. But if they're gonna go with an older monster, I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring and say I think it might be Hedorah, like a new variation of Hedorah. Reason being, Yamazaki has made it no secret that his favorite movie, and one he even wants to remake, is Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster. He also has a lot of love for Hedorah, apparently, outside of Godzilla's other monsters. And furthermore, it wouldn't be too hard to transition, to talk about, like, climate change, and also, maybe in this variation, and again, this is speculation. We're going into speculation mode. In this variation, maybe make Hedorah from a monster of pollution, he's a monster of disease, because the pandemic really fucked up Japan and its government. So I would actually be curious to see, because he had a lot to say on anti-war, I'm curious to see what Takeshi Yamazaki has to say on Japan's, control during the pandemic. Again, that's totally we're going into speculation form. I could be next few videos, I could probably coming on to this on this video going, I was fucking wrong, guys, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, we could easily get that, but right now, we don't know. That's the thing, we just don't know. But yeah, you guys tell me but other than that, I'm going to stop talking right now. But you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of the announcement for a sequel for Godzilla -1? Are you guys excited? Are you guys not? And if this becomes an actual monster fight movie, who do you want to see? Do you want to see a new monster, or do you want to see like an older monster, like a classic monster show up? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.